This portion of ProView is brought to you by DC Lottery.
Welcome back to ProView. I'm Doc Walker, along with former sharpshooter, All-American, superstar in his own right, Reggie Williams. Reggie, you come out number one. It had to be a tough decision on where you play your collegiate ball. You chose Georgetown over Carolina. Why?
Because I thought that, just like I was saying at break, that, when Georgetown played North Carolina in '82, I wanted to go to either one of those schools, and I just picked Georgetown because, Patrick Ewing. I thought it would be special, for him and I to, to play together, and it ended up that way.
Yeah, but when you get inside McDonough, and you guys, Coach Thompson and his staff, they're cracking the whip, you're ripping and running. Did you ever think at that time that that team would become the national champion?
Yes, because I had followed that team. Wingate had went there the year before, and I said they just need one more piece to the puzzle, and that was me.
No question about it. You're in Seattle. You're with the likes of Patrick Ewing, that terrific team, and you're the most valuable player of the tournament. And now you've gone from number one in high school to number one as a collegiate. You're an MVP, and you now have a national championship ring. Were you pitching yourself? Were people following you around campus, touching you?
Yes, that was special. Coming off my high school year, we won a national championship, and then coming the first year at Georgetown, winning a national championship. So I tell people, I didn't win a triple crown. I think Magic, the only one, have done it. High school, college, and pro basketball. And I wanted to do that, but I wasn't on good enough teams to do that. But you live with that.
You go back, and you go back for the championship one more time, Lexington, Kentucky, and you ran into a team that had a little bit of Reggie Williams in them as well. I have never seen a team shoot as well as Villanova shot that night. You had owned Villanova earlier on in the year. How difficult was that to deal with, realizing that might have been your best team, but you didn't win it all?
Well, I still look at it, Doc. I don't look at it as a disappointment. They just played great. They had to do that to beat us. And I just look back on it and say, we got one and we lost one, and let's go on with that. But it still hurt sometimes when I look at the highlights on ESPN Classic.
Yeah, when you see that, and I was there in 1985. Now I want to move forward. Fast forward to your senior year. That clearly was my favorite basketball team. You've been the bullseye, the marked man your entire career, and all of a sudden, there's no Ewing, there's no Dalton. I mean, you had some great players that moved on. It was your club. And a lot of people thought, well, okay, maybe they'll drop off a bit. Not you.
No, I just had a will to win. I could get, that's why Coach always said that Reggie was his best leader, because I could get the guys to play above their game. I would go to them and say, you can do this. And I would, give them the ball and make them feel comfortable. Yes, do, things that guys who at the time at my status wouldn't do. They wouldn't carry that team. They would just look out for themselves. But I know I couldn't do it by myself. One man couldn't do it by himself, but I needed that team. So I kind of used those guys to my advantage, really. I helped them, they helped me.
Reggie and the Miracles. I mean, and that was the one thing where Georgetown, you guys were never a likable group.
No.
I mean, you're the Raiders, right, in college basketball. So the Pistons, bad. You booed everywhere you go. But yet, that was a likable team. Did you sense that people perceived you as a different Georgetown club?
My last year?
Yes.
I think so. After Ewing, Dalton, it was a likable team because Coach gave the team a character. He gave it a name, Reggie and the Miracles, Coach, and that kind of said everything. No,
it really did. It was a fun team, and Reggie, you come back and you have to look at your collegiate career and think to yourself, wow. Looking back on that, summarize your experience as a Georgetown University student athlete.
It was special. It was a great university as far as academic. The athletic was there from when Coach took over. So it was fun to me. It was the great experience, of my life, really, other than, having kids and getting married and things like that. But it was a wonderful experience.
When we come back, we're going to talk about Reggie's jump now to the National Basketball Association. And, of course, folks, he's the #1 draft choice. Stay with us.